Hello everyone. Today we are going to introduce you to the use of multimeter. So multimeter is a device which is used to measure electrical properties like voltage, current and resistance in electric circuits. Multimeter is an important tool for troubleshooting electronic devices. Multimeters are of two types, analog multimeter and digital multimeter, out of which digital multimeters are mostly used because of its highest precision and accuracy. So, this is a multimeter and these are the probes which are used to connect the multimeter. So, first of all, let's see how to connect these probes to the multimeter. So, there are two probes, one is black and another one is red. So, the black probe we have to connect it here in common port. So let's insert the black probe in this common. Then the red probe needs to be connected in one of these two slots. So the first slot, if you can see, it's written 10 ampere. It means this probe is used or this slot is used whenever we have to measure a higher currents up to 10 ampere. And this second slot is for, you can see here the symbol is written voltage, ohm and milliampere. Means if you have to measure a voltage, resistance or current, then you have to put this red probe in this slot. So right now let's place this red probe in the second slot. So this is how you have to connect the multimeter. Now this is the display where we are going to see the readings. Then this is a dial which you can rotate like this, and here is the knob. You have to put this knob on that particular section which you want to use. For example, if you have to measure a voltage, then you have to put this knob on a voltage measurement section. If you can see, your multimeter is divided in multiple sections. Here it's written voltage and one straight line is there. This means this particular section is used for a DC voltage measurement. Then here again symbol of V is there and one tilt sign is there. This sign represents that this section is used to measure analog voltage. Then here it's written A. So A means ampere, that is current measurement. So this section is used if you have to measure a current. When you are measuring a current up to 10 ampere, means whenever you are measuring a higher currents, then this particular section is used, and that time your red probe needs to be connected in this particular slot. Then this is a knob where you have to measure an HFE, that is a gain of the transistor. Then this particular section is used for measuring a frequency. This section is used for testing the diode and also to test the continuity of the device. Then here you can see a symbol of ohm is there, means this section is used for resistance measurement, and here this blue colored circle is there to test the transistor. You can see NPN and PNP is written. So you have to insert the transistor in this particular slot, depend upon the emitter, base and collector, and then you can test the transistor with the help of this particular section. So first of all, let's start with the voltage measurement. So we have this 9 volt DC battery. You can see this is a negative terminal, this is a positive terminal of battery. Now as this is a DC voltage, we need to put the knob of multimeter on this DC voltage range. This battery is of 9 volt, so we need to put the knob of multimeter to 20. Now this 20 means that you can measure voltage starting from 0 volt to 20 volt. If you put this knob here on 2000 M, this small m means 2000 millivolt, that is 2 volt. If you have to measure a voltages up to 2 volt, then you have to put this knob over here. Right now we have to put our knob on 20 as the battery which we have is of 9 volt. Now let's check the voltage of the battery. So you have to connect the red probe to the positive and the black probe to the negative. and as you can see, a voltage which is being displayed on your multimeter is 4.8 volt. Right now this battery is a little bit discharged, that's why it's showing a less reading, that is 4.8. Now what if you reverse the polarity? Let's see. So if you reverse the polarity, you can see the value which is being visible on your multimeter display, it's minus 4.75. so if you replace or if you exchange the probes of the multimeter, then it is just gonna show you a minus symbol in front of the reading. So this is how you can measure a voltage. Now let's see how to measure a resistance. So we have these two resistors with us for resistance measurement. As we know, the value of resistance depends upon the color code. So the color code of this particular resistor, if you can see, yellow, violet and orange. So if you don't know how to find out the value of a resistor with color code, you can make use of the multimeter. So first of all, we have to put the knob on a resistance measurement. So I have kept it on a 2000 ohm. Now let's see what's the value which we are getting. So just hold the resistor with the help of probe like this. Now as you can see, a value being displayed on your multimeter is 1, means this value of this resistor is more than 2000, that's why it's showing 1 means infinite, it's out of its range. So let's increase the knob by 1. Right now it's on 20k. Now let's check again. Let's put the resistor in the probe. Again it's showing infinite, so let's change the range. Now let's check the value again. So as you can see, the value which is being displayed is 46.4, means the value of this resistor is 46.4. From color code, if you can see, it's yellow, violet, orange, means the value of this resistor is 47k. And when it's checked with a second resistor, the color code of this resistor is brown, green and red. Let's check this one. So let's get it back to 2000 range. So as you can see, it's showing 1048. So the value is more than 1000. Let me keep it on 20k and let's see. So it's showing 1.47. So the value of this particular resistor is 1.5 kilo ohm. So this is how you have to measure a resistance with the help of multimeter. Now let's see how to measure a current. For voltage measurement and for resistance measurement, we have directly attached the probes to the battery and to the resistance. But for current measurement, we have to connect a multimeter in series with the connection. For example, as you can see, here we have built one circuit where there is a battery and one resistor is there. Now if you have to find out how much current is flowing through the resistor, then we have to connect our multimeter in series with the resistor. So for that, I'll break one of the connection, means I'll just remove this negative wire and I'll place it somewhere else. Now we have to attach these probes to these two terminals so that the current which is flowing through this resistor will also flow through your multimeter and your multimeter will show us the reading. So let's put the knob of your multimeter on current measurement range first. So we have kept it on 20 milliampere. Now I'll just connect this probe of the multimeter, one to this resistor and another one to the negative of battery. And you can see the current which is flowing through your circuit is being displayed. So 1 milliampere current is flowing right now. Now let's change the resistance and check. So I'll remove this resistor and I'll place another resistor in that place. Now check the current again. So now the current which is being flowed is 0.07. Let's put the knob on microampere. Check it again. So 74 microampere current is flowing through the circuit right now. This is because the resistor which we have inserted, this is of 47 kilo ohm, and the previous resistor which we have used is of 1.5 kilo ohm. That's why previously the current which is being measured was more as compared to the one which is flowing right now due to this 47 kilo ohm resistor. So this is how you have to measure a current. Now let's see how to check an LED with the help of multimeter. So for that we have to put the knob on this diode testing knob. Then you have to take a LED. Longer terminal is positive terminal and the shorter terminal is negative terminal. So we have to connect a red probe to the positive terminal and a black probe to the negative terminal. If your LED light up, it means your LED is okay. If it doesn't light up, it means your LED is damaged. So let's test. So I'll hold a positive terminal with red probe and a negative terminal with black probe. And you can see the LED is light up. So this is how you can test the LEDs. Now let's see how to test the continuity. So continuity is nothing but to check whether 2 points are electrically connected or not. So for that we have to put the knob of the multimeter on this continuity testing. There is a same knob for diode testing and continuity measurement. So for that we are just gonna put these two probes together, and you can see a sound is coming from the multimeter. It means 2 points are electrically connected. If the sound doesn't come, it means 2 points are not connected. So this is how you can test the continuity of a circuit. Now let's see how to measure HFE of a transistor. So HFE is nothing but a gain or an amplification factor of the transistor. It's BC547. It's NPN transistor. So the first terminal is collector, middle terminal is base, and the third terminal is emitter. So for HFE testing, we have to put the knob on HFE, and here we have to insert a transistor in the respective section. Right now the transistor which we have is of NPN type, so we'll use the NPN section and we'll insert these terminals accordingly into these slots. So once you insert the terminal, you have to press the transistor a little bit for a proper connection, and you can see an HFE, that is the amplification factor, is being displayed on the multimeter. So this is how you can measure an HFE of a transistor. You just have to make sure that you are inserting it in a particular section. Depends upon whether the transistor is NPN or PNP. So this is how you can measure a voltage, a current, a resistance. You can test the diodes. You can check the HFE of the transistor. So this is all about the use of multimeter. Thank you.